Daredevil Born Again is out, and this show resurrects Matt Murdock as one and only Daredevil. It's fantastic, it's mind blowing. Here's what we know so far. Now, before we get into the entire video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video as well. And let me know your thoughts on the new Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again. Now, the show starts off extremely dark. We are plunged into a tragedy in the first 10 minutes. Before the credits even come on, we are already plunged into a tragedy. Trust me, it's hurtful, it's painful, and I will not say anything more because this show is meant to be watched. I will not spoil, even though the show is called Spoiler Alert, I won't give you too much of details, okay? But in essence, we have Matt Murdock who suffers a huge personal loss, and then after that, a year later, he has left being Daredevil, he has a huge practice in New York City, and then he takes on the very formidable Wilson Fisk. Now, when I say takes on, we find out that Wilson Fisk is going to be running for mayor. And when he does that, Matt Murdock and him have a nice little sit down and chat. This chat is so reminiscent of the movie Heat with De Niro and Al Pacino that it gave me goosebumps. Literal chills, I'm not even joking. This scene proves that you don't need fancy CGI, you don't need fancy action, you just need amazing dialogue. And this interaction between Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk, by the way, they both know who each other is, right? Everybody, I mean, Wilson Fisk knows who Matt Murdock is, his alter ego, and he also knows who Wilson Fisk is. So this interaction is gold. The next part of the entire series, we see this new character called White Tiger. He's another vigilante, and Wilson Fisk's entire campaign is going to be about removing vigilantes from the streets. He's not going to entertain their, silliness and costumes around, and he says vigilante violence is a real thing, and he's in fact been a part of it. We know that, we know what he does, and we know how much he deserves it. But seeing Vincent D'Onofrio back as, Wilson Fisk gave me chills. He is fantastic at this character. Here's a fun fact. He is actually wearing a fat suit in this series. Usually in the previous one, in the Netflix series, he was, quite bulky himself, but he lost the weight, and now for this role, he's wearing a fat suit. In fact, they kind of address it as well. When Matt Murdock says, your step is lighter, you've gained muscle, lost weight. And he finally adds, I'm not going to spar with you, Matt. And that was just fantastic. I like that line a lot. But we see White Tiger, who's wrongly accused of killing a police officer. And Matt Murdock, of course, being in the hospital with a super hearing, he hears them beating him up. And he goes and saves him. He says, you know what, I'll be a lawyer, don't worry about it. And his new prestigious firm is going to represent this cop killer, which is never a good thing, right? So we end on the first episode with the cop killer being, kind of badly treated in court as well. They barely hear what he has to say, and they barely even listen to him in court. Matt Murdock is stunned at this entire interaction. He's like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And when they find out that he is White Tiger, a vigilante, they call this in question. They're like, hey, listen, this is extremely scary because if you do reveal his identity, then it's a big issue. But he wasn't wearing his, costume or amulet while they were fighting. So does it even count? Not necessarily. Anyway, second episode, of course, is kind of routine. You have, Karen Page coming here and there. And the ending of the second episode, I won't say anything more, but the ending is what I've been waiting for. This show finally brings back the old Marvel that we know and love. It's gory, it's brutal, it's amazing, it's Daredevil at its core, and it's MCU'd, okay? It is Daredevil, but it's an MCU Daredevil. So you do have elements of, an MCU here and there. However, nothing comes close to the last 5 seconds or last 30 seconds of that entire show. But the last 30 seconds of episode 2 is just truly beautiful. You see Charlie Cox give a stellar performance, and I don't want to say anything more on this. It's just the best thing I've seen in a very, very long time in terms of Marvel related, and I'm so happy we got this. The episodes will be coming out every Tuesday, so do lock in and watch these new episodes because, trust me, nothing comes close to this show. It's a great show. We've not seen this in a very long time. It's very reminiscent of the old Daredevil that we see, and of course, old MCU. Brutal, extremely gory, wonderful action sequences, fantastic dialogue, and one of my favorite scenes in the episode 1, I'm going to go back to episode 1 at the moment, is the last scene again, because there's a characteristic hue. You see Wilson Fisk become mayor, all right, and then you see Daredevil on the street, all right, and one side of his face is glowing red. There's a nice red light that's coming from this side, and it's like it's pulsing. You can see the Daredevil is rising up once again, and Wilson Fisk on top of his star, the Kingpin, in the shadows, but also now in the limelight. And remember when we first saw Wilson Fisk in the first Daredevil episode, the first season as well? We didn't get his name until like half the season through. Nobody even knew who Kingpin even was. They kept it so secret. Now, from there to everybody knowing his name, and him being in the shadows but also being in the limelight, his wife Vanessa making his business bulletproof. It's a show that we'll remember for a very, very long time. It starts off strong. Will it end strong is the question now. All right. My name is Lee and this is Spoiler Alert. Let me know your thoughts for this episode and what you're looking forward to seeing in the next episodes. Like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later. My name is Lee. This is Spoiler Alert. Catch you later.
94.3 Radio 1.